But, you know, Mark, are you surprised, as a fairly wealthy guy in your own right, that Donald Trump has tapped a nerve with what Democrats have disparagingly called flannel flyover country, with the common man, with the coal miners,
No,
with
not surprised
regular
at all.
workers? Explain that.
Okay, like I was saying earlier, we are in a what about me time. If you look at Bernie Sanders, the what about me are the millennials sticking together. You know, they were very tribal. You know, I'll keep on going back to that word as well.
Right.
The millennials didn't care about Bernie Sanders. They cared about the fact that all the other millennials supported him, and they were part of the crew, and they could identify. It's like supporting a basketball team. You know, Mavericks fans hate fans of so-and-so. I mean, just look at Twitter to see how tribal and how you know, how bad it is out there. So when what Donald realized early on, I think he looked at how the Republicans treated Hillary. She's a criminal. She's a liar. You know, whatever you want to call her, every name in the book. So that said, you know, it wasn't about issues. I can call anybody anything and not deal with issues as long as I can get people excited. And that's exactly what he did. He got people who were saying, you know what, I'm tired of government as usual. I'm tired of politicians as, you know, business as usual. I've trusted them. I've voted for them. And it makes no difference. They did nothing for me. I'm struggling for a job. I haven't really had wage increases. They're not that middle America is not going to look at Donald Trump and say, wow, what about his policies any more than I care what type of play the Dallas Cowboys run, or if, you know, what the play we ran to get Dirk a shot. We just want to know, did we win or lose, and will we win or lose? And so middle America like that is saying, you know what, I'd rather trust him because everything that's happened with traditional politics, traditional government, has been a failure when it comes to what is in it for me. And so let's go with Donald. And as far as opposing Hillary, it's going to come down to who turns out to vote. If he can continue to say, look, I am going to make your life better. I'm going to stop trade. I am going to, you know, build the wall. I'm going to impact immigration so people don't take your jobs. Then if he can get the people out, he's got a real chance. And none of that has to do anything at all with actual issues.
But would he have to change his demeanor? I mean, you always hear he curses at people. He's trying to get the people he beat to join him now. But it's hard if you called a guy a little Marco or Lion Ted Cruz or all of that. And he has to get them back. Now, he's been very presidential.
No, it doesn't matter. No,
it doesn't matter. What do you do after you vanquish someone, you conquer someone and take their business and bring it to the next level or outcompete them? I mean, how do you either bring them into the fold or calm frayed nerves?
You just do. Look, Donald and I have had our battles. You know, people talk about Donald being sexist. There's nothing he said about a woman that he hasn't said to me. You know, he's called me ugly. He's called me short off the tee. He's called me all these ridiculous things, right?
Right.
And that's just how he combats it. And I think what a lot of people fail to realize is look at every condemnation of Hillary Clinton to date, right? It's, you know, she's lying. She's a criminal. It's all about name calling.
So do you think the debates will be reduced to that?
I think it depends on Hillary's strategy. If Hillary tries to force him into policy issues, then it won't work, right? He'll go
another way.
He'll go another way, right? He's got to have the Seinfeld campaign, the campaign about nothing.
That's interesting. What about the environment? I mean, does it make a difference with the economy, Mark? I mean, there are a lot of people, you're close to this than I'll ever be, who say the economy could be hiccuping, we could be looking at a global slowdown. How would a Donald Trump handle that? I would imagine, given his business credentials, he might say, I'm the guy to deal with a bubble bursting or an economy and a recovery.
He's just going to blame Obama. Whatever it is, it's Obama's fault, right? He will not touch. My guess is he will not touch on any details whatsoever because there's no upside for him. Because there's so much. They've done such a great job on the right, you know, just putting down Hillary so that it's anybody but Hillary. I mean, look, Cruz was anybody but Hillary. I can beat Hillary. Kasich, I can beat Hillary.
You didn't like Cruz. Why not?
Because, you know, he was dogmatic. He was full of crap on his programs. You know, I'll give you one perfect example in detail. So he wanted to change to a value-added tax, but more importantly, he wanted to eliminate the IRS day one, right? That was one of his pillars. That's 90,000 people. that would be the largest layoff in the history of the world on day one. Yet on the flip side, he says we're going to go out, and because we're cutting taxes, every graduate is going to have not 2, not 3, 4, or 5 job offers. It was just as crazy as.
So you were
as
not a big
imagine.
fan of his. Do you think it's important as a guy like you pay attention to who a candidate picks as his or her running mate?
Yeah, it depends if there's balance, right? And
so for Donald
depends.
Trump to Mark Cuban, who would that balance be?
For me, he should. I would tell him to pick a politician. You know that Paul Ryan's not going to do it. You know, Sean Boehner would be great, but I don't know enough of the details, and I don't know enough about the intricacies.
I assume you would not
DC.
like to see Ted Cruz.
No, and I know Donald wouldn't either. I mean, you know, I don't think.
So if
Donald
you had
really,
your choice now, Mark, between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, where would you go?
I don't know yet. That's
Really?
the honest answer. Yeah, I really don't know yet. I think there's things that are positive about Donald. I think there's things that are positive about Hillary, and the same with the negative side.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of basketball to be played yet, and it's going to be really interesting how Hillary responds to Donald. You know, if Hillary stays Hillary, I think it really hurts her and really helps Donald. If Hillary can really, you know, make it tough on Donald to just do the Seinfeld campaign, and then I think she's got a better chance.
That is remarkable. That's a very perceptive kind of a take at this, the Seinfeld campaign. Mark Cuban.
The campaign about nothing.
Yeah, right? You might have a future at this whole money thing.
Yeah, you never know, Neil. I just try to follow your lead.
Thank you, Mark. That's fascinating. Always good catching up. I appreciate it.
Anytime, Neil. Thank you.
Mark Cuban, the Seinfeld campaign. Isn't that remarkable?